All right, so for today's class, we are going to be touching on the campaign section within Command, and I'm going to show you how you can create some marketing pieces. So to get started, I am at the Command sign-in page. I am at agent.kw.com, and I'm going to sign in with my KW username and password. I will give you guys a moment to do the same as well. Now for today's class, and when accessing Command in general, we recommend using either Google Chrome or Firefox. Today I am in Firefox. And just a heads up, I am recording today's class, so if you need to leave early or you'd like to come back and review, this class will be up on our website, slmtraining.com, later today. I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat for you. So slmtraining.com, you'll be able to find this recorded class later today. And also, before we get started, I'm going to do my best to answer your questions today, but if I don't get to all of your questions, please feel free to shoot us an email after class. Our email is support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'd be happy to answer all of your questions. Now, once I sign in, this brings me to my Command homepage. Before we actually go in and create any marketing today, we do want to touch on some of our preferences. So I'm going to go ahead and click my name up at the top right, or Scott's name since I'm in Scott's account. And then click Settings. Once we click our name at the top right and then Settings, this brings us into our application settings. And I do want to point out a couple applications today before we go in and create our marketing. Now at the top, we can see our connected apps, and we have a couple connected today that you will want to have connected as well. So this first one here is Facebook for post scheduling. We also have Facebook for Ads Manager. Now we won't be touching on ads today. We actually have a separate class for running ads, but you'll want to make sure that your Facebook for post scheduling is set up. If you are going to be running ads, so paid advertising campaigns, or utilizing the post scheduling section of Command, you'll want to make sure that these are connected here. You can also connect your Twitter for post scheduling, and for any one of these that you'd like to connect, all you have to do is click Connect Account on the right. It'll bring up a pop-up window and you can sign into that account. We aren't running ads today in this class, but again, you can run ads for Twitter or Google AdWords. Again, check out our Facebook ads class to touch on those topics. And then down toward the bottom, we have a couple more options here for Command Mail and Mailchimp. Now, previously, for sending out email campaigns through Command, our only option was Mailchimp. This meant that your database had to be input into Mailchimp as well. Now we have the option to send our email blasts directly to our Command database. I'm going to go ahead and click on Manage next to Command Email. And this is where we're also going to set up our reply to email. So if you send out any smart plans or any email campaigns through Command, they're going to be sent on your behalf from a Keller Williams email address. Now there's no way to change the sender email, but if anybody replies to your emails that you send, this is what email they're going to go to. So you'll want to touch on this section just to make sure that your sender name and your reply to email are correct here. You can type in your sender name and then choose a reply to email from this drop down below. You can also add a custom email. You also get 5,000 free emails per month. If you find that you're using more than 5,000 emails, you can click Manage Subscription here and up your subscription and pay to have more emails. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. We're going to go over to the left to this menu here. Let's click on Command Settings. Oh, I'm sorry, Connect Settings. Over on the left, Connect Settings, and then Marketing Profile. Now, before we create our marketing today, it's a good idea to make sure that your marketing profile is correct and up to date. At the top, you will see this little toggle that says Use my information to brand my agent site. This means that it's pulling the information from this section here onto your KW site. So if you ever sign onto your site and you see that it looks generic, it doesn't have your photo or any of your information, make sure that this little switch is turned on. But down below, we have some spots for our photo and team logo. Don't put your office logo here. There's actually a spot for that down below. It is recommended that these are a square or else they will be a little warped on your marketing and on the site. Some personal details, of course, your name, your email, anything with that little red star is required. And all this info, some of this info is going to populate on your email campaigns that we create today. So it's really important to make sure that this is up to date. Here's our Market Center section. This is where you'll add in the brokerage logo. This one actually works better if it's not a square, but you can also adjust this on your pieces. Down toward the bottom, we have some compliance links and footers. You can add in your compliance links or documents here. Your social media links, if you have social profiles for your real estate business, and then Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics. So just a good idea to come to your marketing profile, make sure that everything is up to date, and I'll show you what this actually looks like on the items that we're creating today. So you can come here at any time and click Save. For your website and for those marketing materials, this will populate right away. For your mobile app, it may take up to 72 hours for your information to update. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's actually go over to the left-hand side. This is our Applet menu. While you're still learning what these different sections are, if you click on the KW up at the top left, it'll actually expand this menu and show you the name of each applet. Now we're mostly going to be working in campaigns today, but I do want to give you a quick little sneak peek at designs as well. So let's go ahead and click on designs. The icon looks like a little paintbrush. Now I'm just going to go through designs really quickly today. I actually teach another class called Designs 101. That's typically the second Friday of every month. If you haven't watched that yet, that's totally fine. Using the design section is really easy. I'm going to do a super quick run through today. But again, you can find our Designs 101 class on our slmtraining.com website. So again, I'm going to run through this pretty quickly today, just so we can utilize a design within our campaigns today. So this is my design templates. This is basically our library of pieces we've created before. To create a new piece, let's go down to this plus sign down at the bottom right. And then we can choose which type of design we'd like to create. Today, we're going to put together a quick Facebook piece, and we're going to post that together. So let's choose social. And then down below, you'll see we actually have the option to import photos and text from a listing. This is linked to the KWLS 2.0, which makes it really easy to add in your listing photos and listing details onto your marketing pieces. So I'm going to check that box here and then click Next. This brings up a KWLS search page. I can choose between all listings or my listings, and then search for the listing I'm working with today. So I'll go ahead and type in the listing address. Find my listing here and click Select. Now this is going to refresh and bring me into WeBrand, where I can now put together my Facebook piece. Over here on the far left, we have a menu of our different pieces that we can create. I'm going to choose listings and then for sale. And then we can choose what type of piece we'd like to create. I want to create a Facebook piece that we're going to post today. So we're going to choose social wide. And then I'll just select this first option here. So I'm under listings, for sale, social wide. And then I'm going to choose this first option here. I'm going to put my mouse on top of the image and click Use. Now this is going to refresh again, and now I'm going to be brought into the piece and I can make my edits. So again, I'm just going to run through this super quick. If you would like a more detailed look at the design section, please watch my Designs 101 class, but I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek because we are going to use this piece today when we do a social post. So editing these pieces is really simple, especially when you find your listing within the KWLS. I'm going to start by changing out this photo here. I'm going to click on the photo. And then I'm going to go over to KWLS on the far left. Now my listing was already selected. We just chose our listing. So it's going to be really easy to swap these items out. So for example, I want to change this photo. I'm clicking on the photo itself on the right. I can go over to the photo on the left, the photo I'd like to use, and hit this replace button. I can also drag this image over and it will replace. So either way, you can drag it over or you can click replace image on the image itself. And that'll pop the image in right away. Now there is this error currently where it makes the photo go up into the top left-hand corner. If we click on this button at the top, reposition, it'll allow us to change the cropping. So I can just move that over and make this fit a little bit better. I'll click done. Now we just need to switch out the property details and the logo. I'll start with the logo down, or actually we're in the listing details, so I'll just click on the address up at the top right. Since I have my KWLS pulled up, I can click listing details and then easily swap out this information as well. So I chose my address up here, clicked on the address box, and I'm going to click replace next to the property address under listing details. You can see right away, it swaps that out. You can also just double click in these boxes and type in the information. You can see it doesn't add the state, so I'm just going to add that in really quick. Of course, I can change the font, I can change the size, I can move things around, I can completely customize this to my liking, and it's very user-friendly, easy to navigate. So over here, I'm just going to double click in this box and manually change out the text. So it looks like this home is 3-bed and 3.5 bath. So I'll just go ahead, I'm manually typing that in. I'll adjust this so it fits. Square footage. And the price. As you can see, real estate in Nashville right now is booming. All right, the year built down at the bottom, I will change this to 1948. And lastly, I need to switch out the logo. So if I click on the logo, Command will actually detect that this is a logo down here. So I clicked on the logo and it brought me to the logo section over here on the left. These are logos that I have uploaded previously. I can also go into Workspace and upload my own logos if I want, or images, I'm sorry, and if I want to upload my own logo. I have logos already added in, so I'll just go ahead and choose one of these right here. And very quickly, I was able to swap this out. You also have access to some stock photos and stock logos. So for example, if I go into Workspace and then KW, there are some regular KW logos here as well. Your specific office logo, that can be found on kwconnect.com. And if you have trouble finding your logo, send us an email and we can help get that information for you. But as you can see, really quickly, I was able to create this marketing piece. You'll notice that it's pretty simple. There's not a lot of details on here. We're actually going to go post this on Facebook through campaigns next. And through our post, we will add more details. So this is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and change the design name up at the top right. I'll just call this Ward Just Listed FB. You can call this whatever you'd like. That'll save automatically for me. And now all I have to do is click done. Of course, you can download this if you wanted to. You can download this as a JPEG and post it to Facebook, but we're going to post directly through Command today. So let's just go ahead and click done, and that'll bring us back to Command. Back over to the left, let's click on the icon that looks like a megaphone. This is going to bring us into campaigns. This is our command or our campaigns dashboard. Within Command, we have two different types of campaigns. We have paid campaigns and we have free campaigns. We're going to start today with the free campaigns. And let's go ahead and click social posts up at the top right. Now, social posts, this is similar to Hootsuite. If you've ever used that before, you can actually schedule your social media posts ahead of time and they will run automatically for you. So we like to say set it and forget it. It's a good idea to come in here maybe on a Sunday, schedule your social media post for the week, and then they will run automatically and post for you. you can see a calendar down here, and we're going to add some posts to this today. And then we also have some quick posts over here on the right. We will come back to those shortly. Now to create a new post or any new campaign, we're going to click Create Campaign up at the top right. And let's start with Social Post. So I'll select that option here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to build our post over here on the left, and it's going to show us a preview of that post over here on the right. Now our Facebook is already connected. We made sure of that in our settings first before we created the piece. Now let's start over here with the content. Now this first box is for text. Here I'm going to add in my property description. So you have 2,200 characters here. You can add a little more detail. So I'm going to say something like, just listed in Nashville. And then maybe the property description. And contact today for more information. Somebody just asked the question, can we post through a team profile in Command? I know they were working on making that available. I believe, I'm going to double check on that for you. I know that was not previously available, but let me go ahead and verify that for you. And I'll get back to you on that. I have another screen open. I'm asking my teammate just to get more information for you. All right, so we have our property description over here on the left. And you can add in as much info as you need. You have 2,200 characters. Now we need to choose our design. So we can upload an image from our computer if we select this option here. We can also add in a video or link. But we're going to use that piece we just created. So I'm going to leave this as Browse Design Library. This is linked to our designs. And now we will click Browse Designs Library. This is going to bring up only our social designs. So you can see here's our piece we just created. And we'll go ahead and click on that option here. And since I just created this, it says it's not ready to use. Usually if I just try it again, it allows me to plug that in. Here we go. All right, so here we have our post. It does bring this up as a square crop at first. All we need to do to adjust this is click on this drop-down menu here. And we can choose wide or free. This will allow you to manually crop this, but if I choose wide, this will fit perfectly. And then I can click crop image. And you can see my post is being built over here on the right. Now, directly below that, there is a Dba Logo section. So we added the logo in on our actual piece. This is the logo we added over here on the right, but you can see it kind of just stuck on a logo on top over here on the left. Now for ads, it's required to put that logo in, but for social posts, you are able to remove that. And this is the logo we have in our marketing profile. So it does say optional here. If I want to remove this extra logo, all I have to do is click on this X and that will be removed right away. There's also an option to add your ownership statement. This pulls from your marketing profile as well. We had this on the actual piece here, so I'll just go ahead and leave that off as well. Scrolling down, now all we need to do is schedule this post. We do have the option to schedule ahead of time or publish immediately. It says the best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this calendar button here, and this will allow me to choose a different date and time. So if I want this to go out maybe Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m., I can adjust that here. And then all I have to do is click out of this box, so click away, and this will update. So this is scheduled to post on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. And then down below, our page is already selected. And this is good to go. You can see very quickly we were able to pull this design we just created and schedule it to post on Facebook. So all I need to do is I can either save this as a draft or schedule the post. So I'll go ahead and click schedule post at the very top right. And then schedule post one more time. All right, and here you can see on our calendar for this week on Saturday, this is scheduled to go out and you can see a preview of this post. We can see that the status is scheduled. And once this goes out, we will be able to see how many likes, comments, and shares it received. Great question. What if you wanted to post this on Instagram? So there's no way to schedule your posts through Instagram. So from what I've read, there are apps you can use to schedule posts, but I hear that's frowned upon on Instagram itself, and they can flag your account for being basically spammy. So the best way to post on Instagram is to do it manually. But for example, like we made this piece together, you can post this, even though it's the right size for Facebook, you can post this exact piece on Instagram. You would just, when you're creating it, download the file as a JPEG, and then basically send it to yourself, send it to your phone, and then you would post it manually that way. So unfortunately, there's not a way to post on Instagram through command. You can run Instagram ads through command, but not do an actual post. So here's our post. You also have these quick posts over here on the right. You can see some examples. And let's say I wanted to use one of these social posts. And I did get an answer to that question about Teams. Unfortunately, that's not available just yet, but great question. I know they're working on new items all the time. I know they just launched some different marketing items for the Teams, but social posts is not available at this time. So these are some pieces or social posts that you can use. So if I wanted to see more, I can actually click shuffle here and they do give me more options. So these are basically pre-created posts that we can use. So for example, maybe I like this one. I'm going to go ahead and click on this little arrow. And it's going to bring me into the piece itself. So you can customize this, even though it's generated for you automatically. You can go in and change the text. You can change the image if you'd like. You can add additional images. If you think this is good to go, you just want to use it as is, that's totally fine as well. I'll go ahead and schedule this for tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll leave that as is. And then click schedule post. So really easy ways to create content for your Facebook page here. And you can see here's our schedule of posts that are going to go out. Now I don't actually want these to post, so I am going to go ahead and remove them. Someone is having trouble finding create campaign. That should be, so campaigns is over here on the far left. You'll first click on this icon that looks like a megaphone on the far left. And then once you're in the campaign section, you can click create campaign up at the top right. And depending on what device you're on, you may not be able to see it. I know command was recently formatted to work better on like mobile or a tablet, but I personally haven't tried it from a tablet just yet. So if you're on a tablet, you may not be able to see that button. I'm not 100% sure. And then a little bit more information about that Teams question. So whatever Facebook account you have linked in your settings, that's where it's going to go to. So if you have your team page linked in your settings, like I guess ideally or essentially you could be posting to your team's page, but those leads are going to come into your personal account. So it kind of depends on how you want to use it, but it's not impossible, but you can't do it through the actual team profile, if that makes sense. And if you don't have this button up at the top right, send us an email. We can help you troubleshoot that after class. But I'm going to go ahead and remove these just so they're not posted on our actual page. I'm going to click on this ... here. If I wanted to, I could edit the post further, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete. So that is how you can create social posts. Yeah, somebody said it can be a little tricky when a different team member created the post and you're posting to your team page. We're hoping that the team posts become available soon. I would say post that on ideas.kw.com. You can actually put those ideas on that page and then other agents can see them and vote on them. And then hopefully KW will implement those ideas soon. But I'm sure it's in the works. I just don't have further details on that, unfortunately. All right, so our other type of free campaign we're going to review today would be an email campaign. So let's go ahead and click emails up at the top left. So I say it's called email campaigns, but it's more of an email blast. So you can put together, it's more of like a one-time email that you can send to your database. If you're looking for more of a campaign structure where it's multiple items that are sent or multiple actions, those can be set up under Smart Plans. We do have a class on Smart Plans as well. But let's go ahead and set up an email blast today or an email campaign. This is our email campaigns dashboard. We can view information about emails that we have set up or have sent out. Let's go ahead and click, before we actually create the email piece, we will want to create an email list. So I'm going to click this option here, email lists. I'm going to be sending my email blast today to my command database. So I'm first going to create my email list. So I clicked on create lists and then, or email lists, and now I'm going to click create list here. You can see we do have one email list down below. I'll go ahead and click create list. And here I can essentially choose which contacts I'd like to send my email blast to. So you can search, you can enter in the list name here. So I'll just say email blast list, and then I can select the contacts I need. I can search by tag, or I can just manually scroll through. If you have a lot of contacts, it's probably going to be easiest for you to select those tags. I'm just going to go ahead and select some contacts here. You can see we have a very mixed bunch. We have Friends characters, Big Bang Theory, Disney characters. We're real fun over here. But I'm going to go ahead and select my contacts, check those boxes next to the contacts I'd like on my email list, and then click confirm. And if you skip this step or forget this step, you can actually create your email list from the actual email piece itself, and I'll show you how to do that as well. All right, let's go ahead and create that campaign. We'll click Create Campaign up at the top right, and then choose Email. We can enter in our campaign name. So I'm just going to go with my listing again. Enter in the campaign name, enter in the goal. I'm going to advertise a listing, but you can select any one of these options down below. And then it asks where your campaign will run. This is basically asking, do you want to send this to your command database or a database you may have in Mailchimp? I have my contacts in command, so I'm going to leave this as command, and we will click Create Campaign. Now these do follow a similar structure. We're going to work on these items over on the left and build our email on the right. So under campaign name, this is already plugged in for me. We just entered that in our campaign goal. Under account, this is the account it's being sent from. This is our reply to, so account and number 4, this is pulling from your marketing profile where we had those settings set up under command email. If you need to change this, you can see that it's grayed out here. If you need to change this, you can click edit. That'll bring you back to the marketing profile. So if anybody replies to this email that we're sending out, this is where the responses will go. Under recipient list, I can go ahead and select this drop-down menu and choose my email blast list that I just created. If I need to edit my email blast list or create a new list, I also have the option here. So if you forgot this step previously, you have the access to change that here. Subject, this is our email subject. You have 80 characters here, but I say shorter is better. So I'll do something like just listed in Nashville. And now we need to actually create the email. So I'm going to click Select Design under step 6. Now this brings us into the template library. Here we can choose either email templates we've created before. You can see these are our emails we've used and created before, or we can go into KWRI templates. So if you created your email blast before from the design section, you can actually choose that here. I'm going to go into KWRI templates, and there's lots of great templates in here. You can search for emails up here using the search box. You can sort by latest or oldest, and you can also use filters. There's lots of great pieces in here. There are different listing designs, there's newsletter designs. You can see that there are some like fun, informative pieces like Chill Your Bills, Healthy Home. There's 72 templates in here, and these are customizable as well. So you can scroll through, you can see rent versus buy, lots of great templates. Happy spring, happy summer. I'm sure there's a happy 4th of July coming. Event invitations. You guys can spend some time looking at those different templates. Now I want to do a just listed piece. So I'm going to go ahead and filter these. I'm clicking the filter button up at the top right, and I'll choose just listed. And then done. And now it's going to show me, ooh, well, that didn't work. It's supposed to show me those just listed pieces. I'll go ahead and reset this. I'll just scroll down and find one. There are also some luxury emails in here as well. Here we go. I'm going to choose this one, approachable, just listed. I scrolled down just a little bit, but I'll choose approachable, just listed here. So I believe they have approachable, classic, and luxury for your choices. Oh, and modern. They're all pretty similar, just they vary a little bit on the design, but same sort of structure. So I'll choose approachable, just listed, and I'll just click on this option here. All right, now all we have to do is edit our piece. So I'm just going to click on these different content items over here on the left, and I'll show you how you can edit the email blast. Up here at the far left, you can preview what this piece is going to look like on different devices. So you have desktop, tablet, and then mobile. And then over here on the right, we have different content blocks. I'll show you how you can add additional content blocks after we do some basic editing. So up here at the top, you'll see any of this text that looks like this that has the 2 bars and the asterisks. That means this is going to populate from your marketing profile. So when we actually go through and edit this piece and update it, this info will be plugged in automatically for us. So let's start by adding in our images. So I'm going to click on this image here, and then choose the pencil button. If I wanted to remove this altogether, I can click on the trash can, but let's go ahead and click on the pencil. And then we're going to choose our image over here on the right. So I'm going to click replace on the right. And I can choose from my images. These are images just stored within the email campaign template. So these are images I've uploaded before. I can actually delete some of those as well. I can go into listing images. So I can actually search for my image here. I'm going to search for my listing. So 917 Ward. Again, this is linked to the KWLS, making it really easy to add in our info. I found my listing here. I can select my listing, and then it's going to pull up all of those listing photos. So I can select my photo here and then click replace. You can see it plugged it in over here on the right. I can adjust this further. I can change the size. I can actually link it if I'd like to. I can make it clickable. I can add a border. Somebody did ask if you can add videos. I'll be showing you that here shortly as well. But I'm just going to add in the photo, and then once I click done, you can see it pops it in right there. Now let's add in some additional photos. I'm going to click this box here, click the image, the space holder image, placeholder image, and then the pencil button. Again, I'll click replace. This time I'm going to add an image from my computer. So I can click add images, browse my computer for that file that I need. You can see it added my photo. I just need to select that down below, click replace, and then click done. And I'll just do that one more time. Again, click the image, the pencil button, and I'm just going to go through and add another photo. You do have to type in the listing every time, but that's okay. And there we go. Our photos are swapped out. Let's also change this text. So I'm going to click on the text box here and then that pencil button. Now for this, it's easier. It's easiest to just type this in. So I'll go ahead and update this information. So 917 Ward. I can change the font if I'd like. I can change the size. I can add in more of these items that pull from our marketing profile. But I just need to swap out the listing address. So I'll go ahead and click done. And there we go. I'll change the price. Again, just clicking and editing. I'm clicking on the items I'd like to edit and then that pencil button. I'll type in the price. And then done. You can see it's changing automatically for me. Over here next to these icons, I do need to change the beds and baths. So I'll click on, again, clicking the item and then the pencil button. This is 3.5 and then done. And then the square footage, same thing. And done. Now we do have a few different text blocks down here for the actual property description. I'm going to change this up because these are broken up into 3 different sections. So let's say, for example, I want to remove these. I can click on the item I'd like to remove and then click that delete button. So click on the little trash can that will remove that. Now over here on the right, we also have these content blocks. I want to add in just one content block for my property description. So I'm going to click text and then drag that over to the left. Now, wherever this green line appears, once I let go of the button on my mouse, that's where this item is going to be dropped. So I want my property description below these photos. I'll go ahead and move over this content block and let go of the button on my mouse. Now I can enter in my property description here. So I'm going to click on that pencil button again and then add in my text. So you may have to play with the formatting on this. Let's see how this turns out. I just copy and pasted directly. So you can go ahead, there we go. Sometimes if you go back in, you can see it kind of made everything like one block. So I'm just updating this. So again, sometimes it acts a little funny with the formatting. But once I went back in and clicked edit again, oh, I actually liked it better before. Let's see. I'm just going to copy and paste that in again. I liked how it looked before. So again, you can play around with this and see how you like it. There we go. That looks good. You can also add in video. Somebody did ask about a video, so you can add in the video content block. So for example, if I wanted like a virtual tour or something in here, I can click on video, drag that over. And once I click on the pencil button, I can enter in the video URL. So this does have to be hosted somewhere like YouTube, but you can add in that YouTube video for your listing. Let me go ahead and I'll just put in like one of our listing videos or one of our videos so we can see what that looks like. So I'm just grabbing my video URL. I'm on YouTube in another screen, just grabbing the web address of that video. I can plug that in here. And once I click done, my video will populate here. And I believe once we preview this, we'll be able to see a preview of that video. Now, the last thing we want to change is this little button here. So I'm going to click view listing. So when somebody opens this email and they click on this button, they will be able to view more info about this listing. You're probably going to want to link them to a page on your website where they can view this specific listing. So I'm going to click on the button and then that pencil button again. And I want this to be a link. So under link, I'm going to choose link to. If you have a landing page created, you can add that in here. I'm going to choose web address and just link this to the listing on the agent's website. So I'll drop that in here. I can change the color of the button. I can change the border type, customize this to my liking, but once I click done, this will be clickable in the actual email. Somebody asked the question, are we going to go over how to create an open house flyer? Not today, unfortunately. I do go over that in Designs 101. So you can find that on my SLM training class. That's going to be in Designs 101. Those can be found under print designs. There's some really great pieces in there. So down toward the bottom of our piece, you can see this info is all going to populate from our marketing profile. So we don't need to worry about this. I'm going to go up to the top left and change the name of this piece. So I'll call this Ward Just Listed email. That'll save automatically for me. And maybe I want to see the preview of this. So I'm going to go, there's a couple places where you can do this. You can click preview here, this I button. And this will show you a preview. I'm going to double check that video. Doesn't look like it added it in. You can also go up here to options and you have the option to preview, send a test email, or download the template. This will give you an HTML template that you can use other locations as well. I'm going to check out this video one more time. I'm clicking on the video itself, then the pencil button. Try putting in a different URL. I will click done. So I would play around with that for that person asking about the video. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. I'm going to leave it there. But it doesn't look like it's showing me a preview. I'm not quite sure if it does. But I would recommend sending a test email. So you would go up here, send test email, send it to yourself and see what that looks like. We also recommend adding yourself to the email list so that you can see this when this goes out live. You'll get it at the same time as your clients and you can see what it actually looks like. So I have another screen open. I'm going to keep an eye out for that test email and I'll let you know if the video did populate. All right, so let's go ahead. It doesn't hurt to go ahead and click save. Save one more time. And now we will click save and exit, and that'll bring us back to our email campaign. So I'm going to click save and exit, and this will plug in my piece over here on the right. All right, so just a heads up for the videos. So I do have that pulled up over here. I'll just, ooh, where'd it go? There it is. So this is what it looks like when it came through. The video screen is gray, but when I actually click on it, it does take me to the video that I selected. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately, it looks like at this time, it's not giving us a preview of what the video is. So you may or may not want to use that. That's up to you. But you can see our email is good to go over here on the right, our email list. All of these questions are answered. Now I can either save this as a draft, I can send it right away, or I can schedule it ahead of time. So if I click schedule, I can choose the date that I'd like this to go out, date and time. I can change the date and time and then click schedule, and this will go out at that time. And then here we go. Down below, we can see that my post or my email blast is scheduled to go out. You do have the ability to edit this up until the time it goes out. You can also duplicate it or cancel. Now, once this goes out, you will be able to view information about how many people received it, opened, and clicked it. You can also view more details over here in the report section. It'll give you more details about open, click, bounce, and so on. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this just so it doesn't go out. And there we go. Once you cancel it, we'll put that into draft status for us. Now, the last thing we want to touch on before we wrap up today would be postcards. So we're going to go ahead and click on direct mail. So you can send out postcards through command. There's a couple different options of things you can do when sending out a postcard. So we're going to use the templates within the campaign section today. We're going to go ahead and click create campaign up at the top right, and then choose direct mail. We can enter in our campaign name. I'm going to do War Just Listed again. I'm going to create a postcard for my listing. And then my goal is to advertise that listing. Again, you can choose any one of these options. Now down at the bottom, it gives me two options. Use the default templates provided or use a custom template. If I wanted to, I can upload a template that I custom created. There's actually some great postcard templates in the design section of Command. We do have shorter videos on that. You can create your design over here in designs and then actually upload the postcard itself, upload the PDF file here. If you're using like a different postcard maker, you can upload those here. Those are going to be more customizable. So you can completely customize those pieces within the design section. If you choose the default templates, these are still great, still look good. You can't customize them as much. It's more templated. That's what we're going to go with today. If you are interested in using a custom design or using the templates from the design section. And if you have any trouble with that, let us know. We do have a shorter video on that as well. But I'm just going to select default templates provided and then create campaign. So since we are advertising a listing, it did bring up my KWLS search page. Again, making it super easy for us to generate this postcard right away. Right now it's showing me only my active listings. I'm going to change this to all listings and all statuses just so we can find that specific listing we're working with. And I can search for the listing here again. So you can see it all kind of follows the same process. I'm going to click search and select my listing down below. Now over here on the right, it asks what type of postcard I'd like to create. We can choose a 4x6, a 6x9, a 6x11, modern or contemporary. So you can choose what type of postcard. Once we have all the info added in, I'll show you the previews of these, but today we're just going to do the 4x6. And then over here on the left, again, we'll just answer these questions to build our postcard. So our name and goal are already selected. Our listing is selected here. The listing details. So you can see it plugged in the listing details from the KWLS. It added in the address and the price. Under listing status, you can choose any one of these options, just listed, just sold, or coming soon. You do have to manually add in the bedrooms and baths. So I'll do 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bath. It pulls over your property description, 350 characters. So you do have to keep it kind of short and sweet. This one fits perfectly. And I can click save. Under listing photo, now it does pull up your KWLS photos. Please keep in mind that since this is a print piece, they do have to be high resolution. So if your photos in the MLS are not high res, you're gonna have to manually import them into this postcard. So we'll try this out today. I'm going to select my photo. And you can see it says low res. So I actually cannot use the KWLS photo. I would have to manually upload it. So I actually downloaded this from KWLS. Let me see if I can get a more high res photo. If not, I'll use a stock photo today. But I can't use these ones, so I'm going to have to upload an image from my computer. So I'll click upload and replace. And again, okay, so my photos of this listing, I don't have the high res photos. So I'm just going to use a stock photo on my computer. And I'll just choose a listing photo here. There we go. So I'll add in my photo and then click save. And we're working our way through these items and checking off these little bubbles. So then we need to update agent. This does pull from your marketing profile. So make sure that your photo and your info are correct here. I'll click save. Market Center. So it does plug in my Market Center logo from the marketing profile. I do have to enter in the zip code. So it does pull in most of the office information. You do have to enter in the zip, the state and the zip. And then verify the address, because this is who it's going to be sent from. This address here is going to be the sender. So you will click verify. Make sure the address is correct and click confirm. Now targeting, we have a couple different options. You can target your database if you actually have contacts with mailing addresses that you'd like to send this to. If those are in your database, you can choose target my database here and select those contacts. Or we can do local targeting. So I'll show you how you can actually do that. We're going to select based on the address of the listing. And in our next steps, we'll be able to select which addresses we want to send this to. So this is going to be a farming postcard. I'm going to choose local targeting. This is the address of the listing, and I will click save. Now, real quick, I did get a question. Where do you find your office logo? I'm going to pull this up in another tab. It's in kwconnect.com. I'll send you the direct link. But you do have to be logged into KW Connect, and it's under Resources and Marketing. So KW Connect, Resources, Marketing, and then there's an option for logos and branding. I'm going to put this direct link in the chat for you guys. And on this page, you have access to basically every KW logo you'll need. If you scroll all the way down, you can see there's different logos for print and web. And right in the middle of this page, you can actually search for your specific market center. So you can see you can start to type that in, and it gives you all the options to download your Market Center logo. So again, that's in KW Connect. All right, the last thing we need to touch on over here is budget. So this is dependent upon which postcard you choose, the size, and the quantity. So we're going to send out 200 today. They are 59 cents a piece, so it'll be about $118. We will click save. Now over here on the right, we are choosing this 4x6 today. If we want to see a preview of what this looks like, we can click preview postcard. And you can see, looks really nice. It's really simple, but effective. So you can see really easy for us to create that really nice, simple postcard. And you can preview what these different options will look like as well. Of course, the bigger postcards are going to be a higher price. Now we also have the option to add a QR code. This is great for getting new leads, so lead generation. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this option for tracking. switch that little toggle, and basically this is going to be a QR code that will direct people to your landing page. So to use this, you will want to create a landing page ahead of time. You'll create a listing landing page over here under Consumer. So I can choose any one of my landing pages here. I did actually create one for this listing. So now when someone gets this postcard, they can scan the QR code. It'll bring them to a web page with information about this listing, and then hopefully you will capture that lead. And if you need more help on creating those listing landing pages, we can assist with that as well. This looks good. Now all we have to do is configure the targeting. We'll click this option here. It asks, are you sure you want to create this campaign? I will click yes. All right, now we need to choose our targeting. So we said 200 addresses, 200 postcards, and it is centered around the address of the listing. You can choose which type of property you'd like to send it to, the number of homes. You can break this down as much as you'd like, or you can actually go in and manually select addresses here. And if you put your mouse on top of these little bubbles, it'll tell you more information about the house. Over here, you have the option to send a postcard to yourself at the company address. So we do recommend that so you can see what it looks like. And then click next. The last thing we have to do is pay for it. So you can enter in your payment information here. Please double check that the previews are good to go. Once you enter in your payment information and make that payment, there's no going back. So there's no canceling the order or changing the order. It's going to move forward. So definitely double, triple check, make sure everything is good to go. Here's our preview again. And then you can enter that information and make the payment. And that is about it for today's class. I know we went over a ton of information. I'm going to pull up our website, scottleroymarketing.com. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. You can see our phone number and our email address here. So if you have further questions, please feel free to send us an email. We'd be happy to assist. I did also record this class today, so I'll have this up on slmtraining.com later today as well. But thank you guys so much for watching my class. If you do have those questions, please feel free to reach out. If not, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.